But the one that's foremost in the news, and for all positive reasons, is Godrej Properties. Pull up that stock for you. It was up 5%. In fact, it shot up even more when the initial announcements came in about the BKC plant, BKC land being used for a commercial project. Pirojsha Godrej, Managing Director and CEO of Godrej Properties, is with us. Pirojsha, thanks much. Can you take us through some of the details that we did not get? What is the total amount of money you are expecting to make, by when, and what will be the margins on this project?
So great to be with you, Lata. Very excited to be launching our project, Godrej BKC, as you said. This is a project, as you know, that we're doing in partnership with Jet Airways. This is a piece of land that they had originally bought, and we are now doing this in joint venture with Jet Airways. The project in total is about 1.3 million square feet of saleable area in terms of the size of the project. About 250,000 square feet of that will be used by Jet Airways for their own corporate headquarters, and the remainder of which will be sold and leased externally. We expect revenues from this project to be about 3,500 to 4,000 crore over the life of the project. We expect to complete construction by the end of 2015 and hopefully complete sales on the project soon thereafter. I don't think at this time, frankly, that I can really comment on the margins of the project, because it will depend on a large factor of things that will really play out over the next 3 or 4 years. But we're quite optimistic that we are launching this project at a very attractive time. The Indian economy, we think, has now troughed out. We think the reform measures the government is taking, combined with the interest rate reductions that have started and will continue to unfold, we believe will lead to a very buoyant demand for real estate, both on the residential and the commercial side. And I think from a supply perspective, we also think the timing is very good. Because of the slight weakness the commercial market has seen over the last a couple of years, there isn't much by way of new supply that developers have committed. So with that, once demand picks up, we think this project can do very well, and that there will be substantial room for price improvement over the course of the project.
Okay, if you could give us a picture of where the balance sheet stands after the launch of the project, if you could give us the net debt levels and how this project will make a change.
Sure. The net debt of the company at the end of last quarter, which is our last published number that I can talk about, was about 1,500 crore, which we think is a very manageable number. From a debt equity perspective, from the end of calendar year 2011 to the end of calendar year 2012, our gearing ratio reduced from 2:1 to 1:1. Our net debt has also reduced by 500 crores. In the last 2 quarters, we've had 200 crore plus of operating cash flow surplus. So we think our balance sheet is in very strong shape. We don't anticipate any major impact in either direction in the short term from the launch of this project. Certainly it will allow us to create funding through sales, which will be used to invest in the construction and development of the project. But there will be investments required for the development as well. So I would say from a balance sheet perspective, in the very short term, it is probably neutral.
Oh, what about the cash flows?
What will it cost you, Pirojsha, to develop this property? How much of it will be your problem? How much of it will be Jet's? And therefore, if we can have an idea whether it won't make any difference to the amount of loans that you may have to raise.
Sure. We already have a substantial amount of loans on it. So out of the 1,500 crore of debt, we actually have about 750 crore of debt on the project already. So we don't anticipate any incremental debt requirement for the project, because we think the cash flows from the sales we generate will be more than sufficient to cover additional investment. In terms of the project structure with Jet, it is a 50-50 profit sharing arrangement. Their profit and any funds to them will be received at the end of the project, and will be based on, at that time, the surplus in the project after taking out all costs of debt.
In the near term, Pirojsha, do you think cash flows may be a bit subdued because of the investment you've made in the project, and only once the project is launched could you see cash flows coming in? So in that, the near term outlook may be a bit challenged.
No, Gautam, I think what we're actually announcing today that we are launching the project. So the project now is open for sales. We're quite excited to be at this stage. We anticipate that we will see a high amount of interest in the project and will be able to generate cash flows. There could be opportunities to generate cash flows far in excess of the funding requirement of the project in the short term, but I think it's a little premature to comment on that at this stage. For now, I think we expect that we will be able to meet the funding requirements of the project in the short term entirely through the cash flows it generates.
Why, you have done some pre-sales? You sound confident that the money you will make will be more than the money you will spend in the first year itself?
No, Lata, we haven't done any pre-sales on the project. We're launching it today, but we are confident that there will be demand for this kind of project. In any case, the incremental investment in the project is due over a large period of time. So the payments for the FSI that we've purchased are due on an annual basis once a year or over 5 years. The repayment of the debt we have on the project doesn't start until 4 years from now.
Okay.
So there is ample time, and the project has been structured in a manner that it will not, we feel, require any further capital outflows from us at this stage.
At the moment, what's the per square foot realization?
Again, we are just about launching the project. We expect to launch the project in the range of 27,000 rupees a square foot, but we think that could see substantial appreciation as the project unfolds, as the project gets nearer completion. And what we think will be, general appreciation in the commercial market, but also, particularly for commercial real estate, prices do tend to move up quite substantially by the time a project is complete.
Okay, finally, before I let you go, there's some concern with analysts, that over and above what Jet takes, you will be going for external leasing, and in that there are other properties available at a slightly cheaper price. Do you think you will find adequate demand for people external leasing for the project?
Yes, certainly we do think we'll have more than adequate demand. I think we feel we're offering a quality of product here that really hasn't been seen in BKC yet. We're using SOM as our architectural partner for the project. They've designed buildings like the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which is the tallest building in the world. We have an outstanding corner plot in BKC, which will afford our clients better views and things than most other projects there. We have, from a sustainability perspective, delivering a project that is very high-end. So we anticipate that this will be a preferred choice for high-end corporate clients interested in a world-class development in what is now, we think, India's most prestigious commercial office address. We actually think that now is, the rental values that are currently available and the sale values that are currently available offer a very attractive opportunity for corporate clients, because rates have been quite subdued. I mean, if you look at it, even compared to peak rates in, say, 2007, 2008, BKC values are today about at a 25 to 30% discount to those values, whereas the residential market is at a huge premium. And, of course, there's been quite a lot of inflation since then. So we do think that once the short-term oversupply situation, which is largely corrected itself, fully corrects itself, which we certainly anticipate will happen over the course of this project, because of the short supply of new projects being launched, that there will be quite substantial price appreciation in a location like BKC over the next 3 or 4 years.
Just one last question. How many floors is it, since you refer to the Burj Khalifa? Is it just one building, and how many floors?
It's not quite as tall as the Burj Khalifa, nowhere close. It's just a ground plus 19 floor structure with a couple of basements. But it is, I think my reference to that was more a reference to what we hope will be an outstanding building from a perspective of design, sustainability, and other things that we think our corporate clients will care about.
Fair enough, Pirojsha. All the very best. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Great to be with you. Thank you.
All right, so that's the word coming in from Godrej Properties, a 20-story commercial complex coming up at Bandra Kurla complex, and they expect to make between 3,500 and 4,000 crores on selling it. Take a break. We'll come back and look at the technicals of the market, because it's now, if it's a loud shout, it is within shouting distance of 5,800. We're back with the technical expert.